receive your greetings.
And we should be live on YouTube now as well. So welcome everybody that's attending on YouTube, either live or watching the recording. And please put your name and location in the chat on YouTube as well. And Tami, I know you were just about to say something else.
Yeah, I wanted to say hi to everybody. I see everybody checking in here. Arlie from New Orleans, Nancy from Philly, hello. Arlene, Love and Light from Las Vegas, hi Arlene. Rebecca from Denver, hello. Sophia from Belgium, hello. Rhonda from Florida, Melissa from Vermont, Julie from South Carolina, Janet from Long Beach, Patricia from Port Angeles, Washington, and on and on. We are so happy to be back with you today for our third stage of the journey. We want to know how you're doing. How are you feeling at this point? We've gone from the ordinary world to the call to adventure. So what are you feeling right now? And if you want to put that in the chat, we'd love to know. And if you also want to let us know, is this your first day here, your second or third? So you could put 1, 2, or 3 and let us know where you are. Okay, Patricia says she's still a little confused. All right, no worries, Patricia. The clarity will be revealed each step of the way. Janet's third day, Nicole's third day, Robin, Arlie's third day, Panada's third day, Evelyn's third day, Julie's third day, Barbara, Mallory's third day, Tina's first day. Welcome, Tina.
Yeah, welcome, Tina. Lots of 2s and 3s.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, Joni's on target. Yeah, I want to know what that means.
Love it. Arlene says, energy is intense right now, open to receiving. I agree. Super intense. Very interesting day. Meredith, Daphne, Jan, Eto'o, welcome. Welcome, everybody. And, well, I'm going to be outside today, so just really take in the song of the birds and these beautiful trees here. This is a place where they did not cut down the old growth trees when they put the houses in, so it's really wonderful environment here. So bringing all of that energy into our space today, and wow, just thrilled to be with you guys. So let's dive in to day 3. Now this is a very important day, because this is about the third stage of the hero and heroine's journey, which is called refusal of the call. And we've all been there, right? Where we got that call to adventure and it seemed too big or frightening, or maybe the timing was off, right? We talked about timing yesterday. Maybe it wasn't the right time for it. Maybe obstacles came in that just made it impossible and we had to refuse that call. And sometimes refusing the call is the right thing. Like the timing might truly not be right. So we want to always tune into our hearts and find out what is the right answer, right? Is saying no the right thing today? Or is it time for the sacred yes? So we're going to dive into exploring all of that today. So let me share my screen with you. So day 3, refusal of the call. And I'm feeling we should all just take a moment to drop in here. So if you would, just put one or both hands on your heart, close your eyes, take a deep breath into your heart space. And just be with whatever you are feeling today, whatever's coming up for you, moving, stirring within you. We know there is so much that's very challenging going on in our world. We have the war continuing in Ukraine. So let's just send some prayers and feel free, each and every one of you, send out a prayer to wherever you are feeling in your heart it's most needed at this moment. And send your prayer with love, holding the highest frequency and sending that out. Love and peace and hope, all these high frequency energies, we can send them out to where they're most needed. And then take a moment to just notice what's going on within you. How are you feeling today? What emotions are present for you? And honoring whatever you're feeling right now. We're all on such intense journeys at this time. So really honoring yourself, being patient with yourself if it's needed, being joyful with yourself if that's what you're feeling, really letting the emotions be real and true for you right now. And taking a deep breath in, breathing into your heart one more time, filling your heart up with the magic of oxygen and sunlight and all the beautiful elements that surround us. And release that breath, right? Releasing, relaxing, and open your eyes when you feel ready. Okay. So, refusal of the call. Here's a little description of it to help you get clear on what this stage is on the journey. So once you have recognized the call to adventure, you may have a desire to step out of your comfort zone and straight into the portals of change, but something is blocking the way. Obstacles mysteriously show up to slow you down. I had an experience with this just today, very interestingly. Past conditioning, fear, limiting beliefs are all lurking below the surface as unconscious gatekeepers. And it's important to note that these beliefs and these fears or doubts that we have can show up as very real world events. It's really fascinating. Sometimes it might just be a fear or a feeling in you. Sometimes it might be, your car breaking down or something very real. And this is how the universe works. It's so fascinating how the energy is reflected back to us. And personal doubts, feelings of scarcity, lack, or unworthiness must be faced and healed in order for you to courageously move forward as the hero or the heroine. So we are receiving such profound lessons at this time on the earth about trust and surrender. And we're being asked to let go of things we have held on to before, right? Letting go of a relationship, a home that's been very meaningful to us, a career that we've had for 20 or 30 years. People are letting go on a level that I can't imagine has happened any time in recent history. And this is largely because in 2020, when COVID started, all of our patterns were broken. And we were forced into different daily routines, different ways of seeing the world. We were forced to really look at life and death and our health in a whole new way. And this caused us to wake up to things that were no longer aligned, or to have communication breakdowns, or breakdowns in the ability to show up for that old job or career in the same way. And so it's raised so many questions and brought us to so many new truths. But that's not easy. I mean, this is like a hero's journey that we're all on together, this journey through the pandemic, and all the world changes. So we want to learn how to really trust the forces that are moving, trust the forces that are guiding us, and trust the insights we're getting, whether it's from our own intuition or from our guides, from source creator. We want to be able to find the place within us that we can discern, like, yes, this is truth. I know this is what I should trust. And even if this doesn't make sense to the people around me or in the context of my old life, I know I need to do this, right? And then we surrender into that. Now, there's this really crucial difference between surrender and inaction that I just want to mention here. And actually, before I do that, I would love to hear in the chat and in the comments on YouTube, how has this shown up in your life, trust and surrender? Where have you been guided or forced to really trust and surrender? What are the scenarios and the circumstances that have come up for you? I would love to hear. So go ahead and put that in the chat if you feel called. Okay, let's see. Jan says, my daughter having cancer. Wow, Jan. Yes, prayers for your daughter. Lots and lots of prayers and love for you and her. Ellie says to release huge elements of the person I used to be with trust and faith. Yes. Oh. Nancy says Ukraine. Yes. Arlie says, I had to leave my home of 27 years in Brooklyn to be a caregiver with both parents in New Orleans. Wow, what a big, big change, right? Right, Arlie? And learn new ways to serve the world from there. Very powerful. Meredith, heart pain and a desire to go the naturopathic way instead of allopathic route, but feeling fear. Yes, wow, what a huge shift in your career, huge surrender point. Sharon says, I work a sober recovery program that is based around all these ideas. Oh, beautiful, Sharon. And to Meredith and Sharon and a few others, your comments are going to host and panelists. So that means only Tami and I can see them. So make sure to do the drop down on Zoom and choose everyone. And that way everybody can see your comments. And I'm just going to check over on YouTube and see if anybody has written in the chat there. Shelly from Asheville, welcome. Glad to see you on here. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we'll go back to the full screen here. Okay, wow. Thank you all for sharing. These are so powerful. So there's this really crucial difference between surrender and inaction. Now, this is something I get asked a lot, actually. Like, how do I know if I'm surrendering or if I'm just not doing anything? And sometimes to surrender, we have to not do anything. But the crucial difference is, do you feel like you're following truth? Okay. Sometimes your truth will tell you, you've got to take this action, like you got to move to a new city. And so this is like an active surrender. It's like, wow, I never thought a year ago I'd be doing this, but I understand I have to move to that other city. And so I'm surrendering into this decision and I'm going to take the steps to make it happen. That's an active surrender. But there are passive surrenders as well. A passive surrender might be, I just know I don't want to engage in conflict with this person anymore. So I'm just going to stand back. I'm just not going to respond, or I'm not going to say anything back. Now that is a more passive form of surrender, but you're doing that because you know in your heart it's right. When we're in inaction, okay, that's not aligned with the trust and surrender, it will feel like we're running away from something or avoiding something. And that's what you don't want, right? We never, in this initiatory time that we're in, we want to always be saying yes to the highest truth in our heart. We want to always be saying yes to the fullest life or decisions or changes that will bring us more fully into who we truly are and into our power. So we want to really just, again, it just keeps coming back to the heart. I know Tami and I both can't say it enough. You've got to just feel it in your heart or feel it in your intuition, your inner knowing. What is true to me? And that's what you want to surrender to. And it may be taking an action. It may be actually stepping back and purposefully doing nothing. But either way, you're surrendering to what you know to be true. So let me see if anybody else has written in the chat here. And also, I want to ask you, what are the tests that you've been given? Because this idea of the refusal of the call can show up as these unexplainable obstacles. So what are the tests that have been put in your path? What are the challenges, the obstacles that have risen up, that have seemed to slow you down? It's interesting because in astrology, we have the planet Saturn, and Saturn, when he's working with us, when he is, making a significant transit to our birth chart, he will slow things down. He will put obstacles in our path. But with Saturn, what's actually happening there is he's asking us to refine. He's asking us to get more clear. He's asking us to build up our courage during that pause so we can take even more aligned action from that time going forward. Because ultimately, Saturn wants to help us build what will be our legacy work. Saturn is very much about work, and he wants to help us build the career or the contribution or the work that will last even longer than our lifetime. So these slowdowns, these seeming obstacles can actually usually do have deep, deep meaning. Vicky says, I have to learn patience. Saturn is very strongly placed in my chart. Yes, well, that's a huge point that you are learning in this lifetime then, Vicky. It is the same for me. I really, I feel you on that one. Leah says, to write this book, over 250 footnotes, disappeared 2 separate times in the 8 years it took me. Wow. Wow, Leah. That is powerful and frustrating. Blessings for your book. Janet Lynn says, I feel like I have a lot of inaction. But then the song Feeling Groovy popped in and the message, celebrate the moments. There's always something good along the way. Yes. I love it. Thank you, Janet. And Jan says, radical acceptance of a situation and approaches. Yes. Oh. And Leah, continuing from her note above, causing me, a dyslexic, to re-find all my sources and sometimes even rewrite whole chapters. Wow. That is a very Saturnian lesson, Leah. Very, very interesting. Arlie says, pandemic took me off the singing stage and I went online, but haven't performed in over a year. Starting webinars and coaching, missing singing, performing. Also caught COVID last month and brought home to my parents. Wow. Blessings for your journey, Arlie. Sophia, hard time to manage my energy and my resources. Tina says, I'm 65 years old. I'm retired. I'm living the dream. Oh, good, Tina. I was guided by the goddess to get here where I thought I was supposed to be, but I've been so angry for months. I've been tested in so many ways, nothing like anyone else. I'm just not interested. I want to stay on the path that I thought I was supposed to be. Interesting. Anger. Anger is really strong in the world right now. So yeah, there's so much here, Tina, that we could go into, but it's such a profound journey you're on, I can tell. Melissa, I'm currently feeling like refusing the call. My husband is considering whether he should run for the House seat he lost in 2020, and I am deeply involved. Wow. Yes, big, big decisions. Sharon says, having 3 babies in 4 years. Wow. But I just realized I learned unconditional and true love like I'd never known. That is a transformational time, Sharon. Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for all that you have shared. And Leah says, AFGO, another freaking growth opportunity. That's right. The world is very full of AFGOs right now. Deborah, breast cancer diagnosis last month. They caught it early. I feel blessed. Wow, Deborah. So glad that they caught it early. Blessings for your healing journey. Thank you all for sharing so deeply here. We truly appreciate it. We feel you. We really do. So I'll make sure I didn't miss one there. Okay, so we want to talk about fear here as well. Fear is something, you know, I'm in a lifetime right now where I am dealing with fear in a very intense way. I have been since I was very young, pretty much every stage of my journey, deep fears. And it's so interesting because, you know, the challenges that we're given are the wounds that we're given are our Chiron. This is where we are meant to heal ourselves or learn how to work with this in order to help others heal around the same thing, right? And every single one of you has a version of this. And so one really deep thing that I've learned about fear, and now I work with all of my clients on this in very profound ways, is that our fears are actually pointing us directly toward our highest purpose and our most deeply held power. I mean, we all have heard, we all know that beneath our darkest shadows lie our greatest power. And this is so true. And fear can very often be one of those darkest shadows. So I would love to hear in the chat once again from all of you and in the YouTube comments, what is your deepest fear that either you come back to again and again in this lifetime, or that is really just coming up strongly for you right now? Maybe it's something new. Would love to hear that from you. And so many of the clients that I work with in an entrepreneurial way have really deep fears and woundings around in previous lifetimes where we were silenced, right? Where we spoke our truth, or we shared our healing gifts or our shamanic and witchy abilities, for example, and we were killed, we were burned, we were cast out from the community, the temples and the mysteries were destroyed, right? And we were the last one trying to protect them. And so this is very deeply held as a survival level fear in our cells, in our DNA. And then when we have an important mission and message in this lifetime, or we want to shake things up and do it in a different way that feels true to our heart, it feels terrifying. I mean, we feel like we're going to die sometimes if we do that. And the truth is, we're living in this very unprecedented time where we actually do get to speak, right? There's YouTube, there's Zoom. We get to actually share, you know, their healing modalities are very widely accepted by those who are ready for them, you know, in the world. And even so, even with all this technology and different things to help us today, it can still be very frightening, right? So coming out and being visible is really, really big on our journey of sharing our mission and purpose. So that's one example of how it might show up for you, right? Ellie says, I'm tested when I experience grief around the old identity I'm letting go of. Okay, so grief, right? When the grief arises, it's like an old reality envelopes me, and I have to ground, breathe, come back to my heart until it passes, and I remember the joy and sacredness of the path I'm on. Wow, Ellie, thank you for sharing this. This is like a pathway, right? To be with it, And it's true of the fear as well, these difficult emotions. When we can just sit with them, it can actually change and transform them. So, okay, Eveline says, fear of letting go. Yes. Patricia, being alone. Tina, getting lost. Sophia, I think success is a fear. Yes, we can definitely be afraid of success. Robin, fear of loss. Leah, epigenetics. I don't know if that's your fear or if that was a different comment, but Eveline, fear of being close to others. Yes. Uta, deepest fear is that I won't fulfill my true life purpose. Melissa, fear of attacks from my community. I guess that's honest expression all around. Yeah, this is really big, right? When we are wanting to do things in a different way, step out on a new path, share from our heart in a way that our community, our immediate community might not be ready for. It's a very real thing, right? Well, what if people attack me, judge me? It's really important to work with this. Eveline, fear of my own power. Yes. And yes, of course. So Nancy is saying we don't live in a world of fear, basically. So yes, I mean, we live in a beautiful world where we are held and protected at every moment. And yet we have fear and we need to work with it, right? We want to work with it because it can help reveal our power. So we're not saying the world is made of fear by any means, but that is an element of our experience. Now, the obstacle is the way is a really powerful ancient Stoic philosophy. I believe Marcus Aurelius said the obstacle is the way. Tammy's saying yes. Thank you, Tami. So this is really profound for us to work with. That whatever is standing in our path, whatever is blocking us, or we perceive is blocking us from our goals, is actually the pathway that will open up and let us through directly to where we need to go. And so it can be difficult to conceptualize that, right, when we're perceiving it as the obstacle. Is there anything you wanted to say on that, Tami?
Yes. This is such a powerful concept as it relates to fear. And fear is when you feel like you're in a state of threat to one or to one of three or more core wants, which are the fear of approval, the fear of not having approval, of wanting approval, the fear of that you're not going to have the security or that you're not going to have control. And so if we can realize that many of these fears come from these core wants that we have, and we can just say, okay, can I accept and welcome in this state of being scared? Can I just welcome it in? Then it is possible to shift. It's that resistance to the fear that makes it so big. And some people that have a kind of a victim consciousness will see things as happening to me. And when you are looking at it as the obstacle is the way, you see everything that's in your path as happening for me. And that is a real shift. And that's part of the surrender that you were talking about, Jocelyn. It's that you're saying that everything that I'm responsible for everything that happens on some level, and that it's all happening for me. These lessons are all happening so that I can learn and grow. And when you're in a by me, you feel like, I'm lonely because of something else. But when you see it even as happening for me, you could say, I'm the one I'm lonely. I'm making myself lonely. And by taking responsibility of that and seeing you become more of an agency for your own forward, progress.
Yeah, and transformation. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely. So this is very powerful work that we can get into, right, around these topics. Now, this idea here of feeling excited and slightly terrified, what this is speaking to is when we step outside of the comfort zone. And this is the point that we're at, where we've received the call to adventure. And the question is, will you say yes to the call? right? Will you step outside of what you've known before and onto a new path and do this thing, right? And whatever it is that you're being called to. And so when we're at that point, and when we say yes, or we're about to say yes, this is how it feels: excited and slightly terrified. And this is actually a really, really good sign, because it means a few different things. You know, it means we're stepping out of that comfort zone. So we're not just trying to stay with what's familiar and feels safe. We're willing to take the risk for a new life. And it also means that we're moving towards something deeply meaningful, you know, like this idea of fear pointing us toward our purpose, the obstacle being the way. When we step into something that we know in our hearts is where we need to go, and also it's slightly terrifying, this means we're heading toward a big up-leveling, a big shift toward our highest self and our true purpose. Really what our soul is longing for, right? What our soul was sent here and why we incarnated into this lifetime to do. So this is exactly where you want to be as you're as you're thinking about the refusal of the call, or saying yes to the call. And it's something that the excited and slightly terrified is something I hear almost every single time that a new client says yes to create a summit, a soulful summit with my program. Almost every single time. It's so beautiful. I love it when I get that email. You know, they'll email me and they'll say, Jocelyn, yes, I'm ready to do it. I feel excited and terrified all at once. And I'm like, yes, perfect. I'm here for you. You know, we're going to do this together. And it's an exciting moment to feel that, and for somebody to be really stepping into that space, right? So I invite you all to do that in your life in the ways that feel right for you, in the ways that feel true to your heart. Now, when we tune into the heart, we are stepping out of just perceiving with the mind. And this is really important. We have been trained and brought up since the beginning of our life in this, you know, in this modern world, to focus on making logical and rational decisions, right? We were told that, you know, you need to go to school, you need to get a good job, you need to move up the ladder at the job, you know, you should probably get married and have a couple kids, right? This is, of course, you know, not necessarily true for everybody, but this was the message that we got. And there are many, many, many different ways this is driven into us and into our awareness as we grow up and as we move through life. And we're arriving at a time in the world now where it is becoming quite clear that sticking purely to logic and rational ways of perceiving has not led us down the very best path. And this is why, you know, in my work, for example, I'm so focused on what were people doing 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago, when we were closer to our original state of being. Because we were not perceiving things in purely logical and rational ways at that time. Of course, logic and ration has to come in. We had, you know, at that 20,000 years ago, we had to go hunting so that we would have food. You're like, that's logical. But we were attuned to the moon and the stars and the voices of the plants and the earth, right? And we were able to perceive the world in a much, much vaster sense. And so we want to return to that now. And I think probably everybody on the call, you know, has felt this in some way. I think humanity is collectively experiencing a longing to return to a time when we're not purely logical and rational. And realizing actually that these logical, rational, straightforward, you know, ways of thinking are inherently limited. They're blocking out huge parts of who we are, which includes magic and mystery and the deep power within, and synchronicities and miracles, right? None of those are included in logic and rationality, and yet they're very real. Miracles happen every day. Synchronicities happen every day. And those, miracles, synchronicities, these things that are outside of the logic and rational are actually what can boost us up, can give us hope, can resurrect us, can bring new life into places that seem hopeless. And so we really need to turn away from purely logic and rational and open up to the miracle and the mystery. And that way, that's a really good way to get around a lot of unnecessary obstacles, because it leads us into a deeper connection with all that is. And truly, we are part of a much larger field of intelligence that includes the moon and the sun and the stars and the trees and the birds that are singing here. And all of this is here to guide us on our journey, as long as we're willing to open up to the mystery and open up to the deepest longings of our hearts. And when we step into that mystery, when we open our awareness, now it's not so much about opening the mind, but it's more about opening the heart, or opening the third eye, right? Our intuition, even opening our sacral chakra, this point of creation within us, to this vast field of intelligence. What is the moon saying to us today? What is this bird who just flew right next to me? What is that bird trying to tell us, right? There is so much depth and power here, just waiting to be discovered. So I want to share with you this prayer, and those of you who are in my classes, you know this one well. It's a magical prayer. It's an alchemical prayer. So I invite you to say this with me now 3 times together. And this is really tapping into that much vaster field, right? It's tapping into possibilities that we haven't even imagined yet. So let's say it together. Dear universe, please send me all of the things that I need the most that I do not even yet know are possible. Dear universe, please send me all of the things that I need the most that I do not even yet know are possible. And one more time, the universe appreciates the 3, the triple. Dear universe, please send me all of the things that I need the most that I do not even yet know are possible. Can you feel the power of that? Can you feel how that opens you up to this much vaster field? Because we may have ideas and like, I think I want this, or I've been longing for that, or I think I need this thing over here, but we don't know the bigger picture plan, right? So we want to set our intentions. We want to, set our goals and have things we're working toward, but also we always want to be very, very open to this or something better, because the universe knows the bigger picture, and the universe is able to send us things to help us that we did not even know could occur. So this prayer is very powerful. Will open up vast new pathways for you if you say it regularly. And one last piece here. I wanted to share this image of this infinity serpent. Now, this is from the hieroglyphs in Egypt. And look at how powerful this is. First of all, look at the eye of the serpent and how lifelike and beautifully intelligent it is. I just find that so fascinating. And this serpent represents infinity, and it represents the life force, as the serpent does in many, many cultures. It represents the Kundalini energy that rises from our root chakra and all the way up and through the crown chakra, and that connects us with the great below through the root and connects us with the great above through the crown. And this, the fact that it's in infinity symbols, that does mean infinity. Okay. And there are some places where you will see entire walls. There's a place where you're walking into the Osirian next to Abydos in ancient Egypt, or in Egypt, where there are entire walls filled with serpents. And it's just so powerful because they were depicting this vast and infinite fabric of the life force of creation that we're all connected into and woven into. So part of this idea of, do I say yes or do I say no, is to ask yourself, is this what I'm saying yes to? Like if I said yes to this call, would it help me to be more deeply woven back into the infinite fabric of consciousness that I know I'm a part of? Or will it take me farther away from that? Right? And of course, we have never actually been separate from this fabric, but we can perceive ourselves as separate, and that does make a difference, right? So the opportunities, the possibilities for us are just so much vaster than we've ever been told. So much faster than we perceive based on what we've been taught. So when you are receiving a call to adventure, I really invite you to dream big, right? And really try, as best you can with your heart, with your third eye, to perceive how this is part of a much bigger plan. And is it going to tap you more deeply into infinite consciousness? Is it going to tap you even more deeply into the truth of who you really are? Okay, so I'll pause there. I know Tami has something to share with you.
So beautiful with the image of the snake and weaving it in. I just really love that. Thank you. I wanted to do a little bit of an embodiment practice with everyone to really begin to understand when you are feeling a full body yes. So many people are like, I'm not sure, am I really feeling it? And when we can really sense into what does yes feel like in my body, then we'll be able to use it as a compass and to direct us more to those things that are meant to be in our path, meant to serve our highest good without letting anything block us or stand in our way, a false belief that stands in our way. So if everyone would just I invite you to just close your eyes and just deepen your breath. Just really drop in now for just a couple minutes. And think of a memory from your past that brings you great joy. Something that you would happily repeat, that you would do again, like a time in nature, or the feeling of an accomplishment that you made, and anything, any scene that you would happily relive and repeat again. And as you think of it, bring back all of the visuals and the sounds and everything that was going around, and drop in as if you were there again. And as you imagine yourself in this scene, tune yourself into the energy of your body. So, what is the energy doing? How is it moving? And do you see a certain shape or a tone? So what is really happening in your body when you have a yes experience? It might be a feeling of upliftment or fullness. And imagine your body as a compass, and you can tune into your yes setting with this embodiment, these feelings and sounds and sensations that you have from this remembrance of this time. And if you don't notice anything, it's okay. Just imagine what you might notice as you think about this experience. So really lock that in. And now, shake off that memory and just let it go. Just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Now, again, with your eyes closed, recall a memory that you do not want to repeat. Nothing particularly traumatizing, but that you know as a big no. You know, I don't want this in my life. And look around in your mind's eye and imagine yourself in that scene again. And taking it all in with all of their senses, the best that you can in this moment. Imagine that you are back in that scene. And tune into the body. Is there a certain vibration, a difference in temperature from the first experience? Perhaps a certain shape or sensation here? Maybe some kind of heaviness or wall? And what do you notice when you tune into the no? And now you're getting a compass for no. So how is that different than yes? That full body yes. How is this no different? And you're getting this reference point.
So now taking that clear sense of no and just shake that off. Let it move out. All right, coming back to center, coming back to neutral point. Now I invite you to remember a time when you said no in the past, but ever after that, you always wished you had said yes. And allow yourself to go back to your memories of that time and what was happening for you. What came up that brought you to the no decision? What emotions were you feeling at that time? And then what was it that shifted in your perspective in maybe the days or the months or even the years after that, that you came to wish you had said yes? What new perspectives or new understandings came in? And what can you learn from this experience now, looking back on it with deeper understanding and with the knowledge of the time that has passed since then? What lessons maybe are here for you? And how can you carry this forward to inspire you or to maybe shift the way that you might make a decision now or in the future. So take a deep breath in, breathing in to your heart once again, and release that breath and shake it off once again, just releasing all that you've moved through here. And we would love to hear in the chat and in the YouTube comments what came up for you, which one of those really moved you or brought up something very meaningful. And again, we thank you for letting us witness, your shares here. It's really so powerful to witness your shares. So yeah, how was that experience, everybody? What came up for you? I feel like everybody's in a pretty deep space. So give you a little more time to think about it.
I know that that many people, including myself, there are times that I only regret the times that of the things that I didn't do, not the things that I did.
Yeah, right.
It feels like when I say yes, maybe it didn't turn out exactly the way that I wanted it to, but I learned something in the process.
Yeah.
And when I said no, I cut off that learning, that path,
Opportunity.
that opportunity.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are more strong for me. I mean, that come up, those ones that the times I regret saying no, not saying yes. Yeah.
Arlie says, the first no brought me to profound tears, a memory I haven't even revisited as part of my healing journey usually. Wow. Yeah, Arlie, well, if that's coming up, definitely keep working with that. Whenever we have those intense emotions come up around something, it's really important. So, yeah, thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? Well, I also invite you to think about what is a time that you said yes, and you have just been the whole rest of your life so glad, so glad that you said yes, right? And let's really celebrate those big yeses, right? Maybe it was a yes to getting married to your partner that you're still with, right? Or maybe it was like a yes to pursuing, some sort of training or education that has changed your life, or maybe yes to moving to a new place. So let's really celebrate those yeses as well. Janet Lynn says, the first time I went to Salem. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Well, there's this idea of the sacred yes. And this is a very important part of the hero's journey, because once we get that call to adventure, we realize we can't stay in the ordinary world anymore, right? We go on the call to adventure, and do we say yes or do we say no to the call? And very often when it is a hero's or heroine's journey type of call, right? It is something that is meant to bring you on your path to your higher purpose and into your highest self. And so this idea of the sacred yes is when we say yes to something that we don't fully understand yet. We don't know exactly where it's going. And yet we know in our heart that we've got to say yes. And these, for me, these are some of the yeses that I am just so grateful for. There were these big sacred yeses, like the first time that I traveled when I was young and went to Taos. And that just completely changed everything on my spiritual journey, my entrepreneurial journey, my life journey, everything. And my kids were very small and I had to leave them for a week and it was so hard, right? And yet it was this huge sacred yes. So what are these for some of you? What have been the sacred yeses in your life? Jan says, when I decided to follow my spiritual path. Barbara, when I said yes to the ancestral healing path. Yes. Holly, my partner, Luke, the healing journey I've been on for 30 years. Joshua Tree. Ooh, those feel so powerful, Holly. I had big chills reading your comment here. Yes, amazing. Well, we have something really special to share with you all today. And this is an opportunity that Tami and I are co-creating from the depths of our heart and souls that we want to share with you today. And so I'm going to share my screen. And this is a big invitation that we have for you to continue even more deeply into this hero and heroine's journey. And so we've created something here that is an 8-month immersion. It will take us from May to the end of the year. And it's called Epiphanous, Entrepreneurial Alchemy for Inner Power and Transformation. And we are just so excited to share this with you because we've been working on it for a while and we have just dreamed it into being with all of this just very deep passion and enthusiasm and all that we want to share with you on deeper and deeper levels. So during this 8 months, we invite you to bring your highest consciousness and evolution through this initiatory portal of 2022 so you can be ready to change the world in 2023. And we invite you to sense into this. And if this feels like a sacred yes to you, we would love to have you join us. Now, I'm going to put the link to this page in the Zoom chat. YouTube will not let me put it in while we're live. So on YouTube, I'm going to put it in the description field after we are done with the live. But you can, if you go to sacredplanet.com, wearesacredplanet.com/Epiphanous, you will find it there. And I invite you all to come here and check out the page. We're going to share with you a little bit of it today, so you can get a sense for what we're doing here. This is going to be such a powerful journey. So we know we're living in these unprecedented times and everything's changing all at once. And what we really feel in our hearts, and we know that you are all probably feeling this too, is that this new world is wanting to be birthed through us. And we've got to release all that's old so that we can bring in what's new and really birth the future state of humanity through every single one of us. Okay. And so if you're here and you've stayed with us for the 3 days so far, and hopefully you'll stay with us for the 4th day tomorrow where we have even more to share, you are one of those who know that you have a mission to help with this vast awakening and shifting of human consciousness that's happening at this time. And there are so many people out there who are awakening and who need your support, who need your healing, or who need the new way of doing things that you're going to bring to them, or who need you to be the teacher or the coach or the guide for them, right? And so we're inviting you into this space to fully claim your radiant purpose. And that ripples out into the world in the most magical ways, okay? No matter how big or small you perceive it to be, you're here to shift things. You're here to help change people's lives. And we're here to support you in this. So this journey is going to be a really beautiful blend of spiritual support and personal growth coaching support, okay, and personal development, along with setting clear and practical action plans and action steps to really move you forward to build your dreams and your vision into reality. We want to give you the whole picture. There are some programs out there that will just give you the logical and rational pieces, and here's how you set up your website, and here's how you find your ideal clients, etc. We'll work on those things with you, Okay, but we're also going to be here for you at the deeper levels because we know this is deep entrepreneurship. You need all the levels of support, all the levels. So we are here to support you on this journey at a soul level, ensuring that what you create will be truly aligned with your highest mission in this lifetime. At a magical and alchemical level, and astrology is included in this category as well, we will be tapping into the cosmic energies to facilitate the transformations you've been longing for. At a deep coaching level, to pull the truths out of you that you didn't even know were there. At a shamanic level, so you can receive guidance and transmissions from the unseen realms. And we're going to integrate all of the above into a practical and strategic business and taking decisive action level as well. Okay, so again, I'm not going to go over every bit here. We go through and we explain what Epiphanous means. These are the Karfi goddess statues from the island of Crete, and this is the Epiphany gesture. Okay, and this was how the goddess. There was a goddess that, as far as we can tell from all of the writings and the documents, she didn't have a name. The way she was called upon was with this epiphany gesture. And it is a gesture of awe and wonder, right? And that's what we're basing this program around, is this idea of we are just surrounded by support and awe and beauty and magic. And we want to help you tap into all of that very, very deeply and bring your brightest light forward. And now this is all going to be based on the profoundly transformational process of the heroes and heroines journey. Okay, and it's because we are just at this point of massive change in the world and new leaders are needed. And we believe for those who feel strongly that this is a sacred yes for you, right? You are that new leader. I mean, really, everybody on this call is a new leader, whether you say yes to this particular journey or not, okay, to this particular program, right? You are the new leaders that are needed. And you are the leaders with courage and who are ready to show a different way, a new way forward. So this tells just a little more about how we're going to hold space for you, what we're going to help you to move through. Okay. And again, come here and read more, really soak it all in and just see if it feels right for you. We want to help you get to this point where you become capable of accomplishing things that you've never been able to do before, because you're really in the flow with the creative life force, with that vast consciousness and intelligence that's represented by that infinity serpent. And where you can find yourself not only ready, but also delighted to take the true action steps that will build your dreams into reality. So there is a lot here about the curriculum, okay? It's an 8-month journey, and every month we're going to cover a new step on the hero and heroine's journey, okay? So month 1 will be taking the leap and leaving behind what's familiar, which is the 5th stage on the hero's journey, and so on and so forth. Now you can come here and read in detail and see all that you're going to receive. Every month we're going to have archetypal gatekeepers and guides. Okay, so in Test Allies and Enemies, we're going to work with Samwise, Gollum, Gandalf, and Frodo. So we're going to go deeply into these archetypes, right? Who are the allies? Who are the enemies? How are they actually all helping us forward on our journey? We're going to have planetary guides each month, and we're going to be working with the astrological energetics every month, okay? As well as Tami and I are going to provide coaching for each of you by meeting you exactly where you are. This is really important. Would you like to say anything about that, Tami? I've been going on for a little while, so if you want to jump in, feel free.
This is, I believe that that everyone is more powerful. You are more powerful than you know. And the coaching process really helps as to be a mirror, a container, a support for you to see your blind spots, shine light on those blind spots and really step into your greatness. And, we would just be so honored to be able to support these, the amazing leaders that are here for this new world, this new future that we are creating together, and doing it all in a sacred community will just make it that much more powerful.
Yes, 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 absolutely. And so we're keeping this group small so that we can provide hands-on coaching for specifically what each and every one of you need, because you're going to come in at different points on your heroes and heroines journey, and different points in how far you are in developing or carrying out your purpose work. And so we're going to work with you each very specifically from the beginning on exactly what you need, okay? And guiding you in whatever, obstacles or resistance or doubts you might need to move through, and helping you to set clear and defined action steps, and then providing whatever you need to carry those out. If you need help with technology, we will do that. If you need help with mindset and like receiving money, we will meet you there, and we will guide you through that, whatever it might be. And so as we were making this page, it was actually kind of hard. It's like, it can't fully encompass all that we're going to do, because some of it will be decided very organically in the moment by what you all really need. And I'm sure the group will come together in this magical way, and you'll all be supporting each other as well at the same time as we're supporting you. And we just can't wait to see that. One thing I think it's important to know about the structure is in the first session, or the first month, I should say, there will be two live calls per month. Okay, so in the first month, we're going to work with you and coach with you so you can decide upon a first major action step that you'll carry out by month 4. Okay, and then we'll celebrate what you've done, right? And you'll complete that in month 4. And then in month 5, you'll set a new action step that you'll complete by month 8. So there's 2 really big leaps ahead that you're going to be able to take. And it can be whatever feels right for you. And we'll help you figure that out, that you will be able to take just fully supported in this container. And so that when you come into 2023, you will have evolved significantly, right? Not only on the inside, but also in what you are manifesting and creating externally. So come here and check this out. There's so much beauty that we have included here each and every month. So take it in and see how it feels to you. And you can see how we go through each of the stages here. Month 5 being reward, month 6, the road back home, where we'll be guided by Dorothy and Saturn and so on. There's just so much. It's going to be a really profound and powerful journey. And I will say astrologically, July through November 2022 is going to be a time of great change. And I think for that as well, you will be so glad to be in a community and to really be held where we're all going through the changes together. And we can be here to support you, and we can all be supporting one another. And we will end with a beautiful winter solstice ceremony, closing ceremony, really celebrating and integrating all that you've experienced, all the ways you have grown and evolved and transformed, and to set your intentions for 2023. So we want to share with you the investment level for this, and then we'll go to some Q&A and see if anybody has questions. So there are 2 levels to this, okay? One is the full group immersion, which is all of it'll be 16 beautiful live class sessions. Hold on just one second. Hold on one second. My daughter is homesick, so she needs something. So give me just a moment here.
Hi, everybody. I thought I would just jump in here to see if we have any questions in the meantime. And I see that Daphne is asking how long are the sessions, and they will be approximately 90 to 120 minutes. Each session will have time for individual coaching and Q&A and sharing of epiphanous moments. So that could, be anywhere between 90 minutes and 120 minutes. Thanks for your question.
Yeah, and definitely put any other questions in the chat that you guys have, and we will get to them soon. So this is the full program, okay, with all of the live group sessions. You can see that there's so much that's going to be included every month, including powerful individual coaching for each of you in the group format. And so this level for the full 8 months, we've tried to price this very, very reasonably, so it'll be very accessible for all. This is $25.55, okay? We also have a private non-Facebook online portal where you can be in community all throughout the month in between the sessions. Of course, during the live sessions, you'll be in the chat on Zoom and also just face-to-face on Zoom. Okay, we'll do it in a meeting format, not a webinar format. So you'll be right there with each other in community. But even in between the live calls, you'll have this place that is not on Facebook to talk to each other, to, also ask us questions in between the calls where we can all be in community there. So that is the level 1, okay? And you receive so much with that. There's a level 2 where you will get customized one-on-one support from both of us, which would be 2 60-minute sessions with each of us. So a total of 4 60-minute sessions throughout the 8-month program. And you can use these at any time throughout the rest of 2022 that you would like to receive additional hands-on support. And that is, of course, including everything in level 1. Okay, so everything that you get in the group, plus these 4 one-on-one sessions with us, and that is $37.77. So we do have installment plans here, and you can come to this page and register when you're ready. Again, we're keeping this group small. The maximum that we will allow into the group is 30 people. We welcome both heroes and heroines. Okay, both men and women are very, very welcome here. And but because we are only going to allow 30 people to join, I do recommend that you join as soon as you know that it's right for you, to make sure that you don't miss out, and that it doesn't fill up before you join. Now, you can see that we have these installment plans here. So the level 1 installment plan is $355 a month. The level 2 is $499 a month. So hopefully that also helps it to be more affordable for you. And those are over an 8-month period, matching the time frame of the program. Registration will close on Saturday, May 14th. So about a week and a half from now. And one more thing here, we do want to tell you about the bonuses. These are really good, very juicy bonuses. So bonus number 1 is everybody who signs up is going to get a 30-minute one-on-one session with each of us. So this is 2 one-on-one sessions you automatically get by signing up, because we want to get to know you personally from the very beginning. And we want you to feel our support very strongly from the very beginning. So you will get a 30-minute one-on-one alchemical astrology reading with me. And this is just, looking at your blueprint of the moment of your birth, okay? And really, we will look ahead and look at over the next 8 months and even into 2023, what are your major timeframes for opportunity and breakthrough that you can leverage, that you can be in alignment with the cosmos as you take action. And then you will also have a 30-minute one-on-one laser coaching session with Tami. Tami, do you want to say a few words about that session with you?
This will be a great way to kick off the whole program, because we will really get into your purpose. And it's going to be a very guided session so that you can really get into that core of your purpose, to create your mission statement, or really craft a mission statement that can serve as your why and your guiding light throughout the 8 months.
Amazing, amazing. So yes, we really wanted you to receive both of these right at the beginning, so you can have all of this insight from the moment you start. So we'll be holding those in May and June with all of you who join. I'm going to put the link to the program in the Zoom chat one more time, just in case people are looking for it. There we go. Okay. So bonus number 2. Now, this is a really wonderful program that some people attending might have attended this course, The Magic of You, that I used to run every year. It's a really powerful course, and it's about how to transform your visionary idea into a profitable business, community, or movement. So this is about the step-by-step, including the technical details, the mindset details. Okay, so it is a wonderful support for everything that we're going to be doing in Epiphanous. Now, in Epiphanous, you're going to get our hands-on, coaching and in the moment, support for everything that you need. But this will be a wonderful backdrop to it. Okay, because this gives you the practical steps like learning how to generate money from your business, how to plan your programs and offerings throughout the year, how to price and package your offerings or products, user-friendly technology options like for setting up an email subscriber list. How do I do that? It's all included here. So this has a value of $12.49, and those who have taken it have given it raving reviews. It's really a wonderful course. So I know that you all will enjoy that as a complement to Epiphanous. And then bonus number 3, Tami, I'll let you say a few words about this one as well.
This was a summit that I hosted last year around this time, that Jocelyn was my mentor. Following the Soulful Summit creation process. And the whole experience was so transformational for me. And I learned so much through these interviews, and grew so much from this process. And there's so much wisdom in each of these interviews, because I met with people from Neil Donald Walsh to the leading coaches and wisdom keepers, and there are just so many beautiful nuggets and perspectives on awakening here that I wanted to make this collection available to everyone. So powerful.
Yes, amazing. And it's 2:22 Eastern time. So just want to put that out there for everybody. Make a wish. It's a good time for it.
You were just looking at 222 as the value for that.
Like 222s everywhere. That's great.
Beautiful.
So all of these bonuses are a $17.71 value that you get in addition, and really priceless, because the one-on-one sessions with us, I think you'll just get, it will be beyond a dollar value that you get in those that you receive. So again, registration will close on Saturday, May 14th, and we do recommend you register as soon as you know that you want to join, because we can only have 30 people, because we want to keep it small and give you each our individualized attention. So you can choose your payment option here on the page that is most aligned for you. You can go on down here and read some testimonials for us that, from both of our clients, and just come back and enjoy the page. It'll be powerful for you. It's a powerful journey, just the web page here itself, and just sensing into, right? Is this a sacred yes for me? Is this the right next step for me? So let me stop sharing my screen, and I would love to hear any questions that you have. And really, we welcome questions about the Epiphanous program. We welcome questions about what we worked on today, or anything we've been working on since Monday, really. So what questions do you have, or what shares? I see that Ellie says, I'm curious to know how many people you'll be allowing into the program. Yeah, so Ellie, it will be a maximum of 30 people, and it will be on Zoom meetings, because it is a small and intimate group. It will be meetings. We will all be together. The webinar is a great way to meet on Zoom if it's going to be a larger group, right? And some of the courses I'm teaching, we have like hundreds and hundreds of people in there, and that makes more sense for a webinar, but this will be on the meetings where we can really feel very cohesive and be continuously communicating with each other. So let's see. Oh, and I see you answered that already, Tami. Thank you. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, Leah. for your beautiful comment here. Now we will be meeting tomorrow, everybody, for another live call. And so we want to invite you all to come back because we're going to have the fourth stage of the hero's journey, which is meeting the mentors. And this is a big transformational point in the journey. So we invite you all to come back then, join us once again, and it will be our closing call of this 4 series of live calls. So it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. It's going to be very expansive. So we can't wait to see you there and hope you've been enjoying this week. We would love to hear as well. Oh, I love that. Sharon says, so 222 and 222 means we are all on the right track. Yes, exactly. Exactly. We would love to hear as well, what has been your experience so far? So we've had 3 days of live calls together about deep entrepreneurship, the ultimate hero and heroine's journey of transformation. What has stood out for you so far? We would love to hear your feedback. What has been meaningful for you, or what practices did you enjoy? Was there anything you wish was different, right? Whatever feedback you have, we would really love to hear. We want to be always continually improving and giving you everything we have from our heart and soul. So, yeah. Anything you wanted to add to that, Tami?
I just wanted to thank everyone here. I know that, our time is so valuable and attention is so valuable. And I think it's really, meaningful that everybody chose to be here together today. And that says a lot. And I really feel like there's so much good work that we can do together. And that makes me really excited. And I'm really excited to offer this program because I really feel like together, with Jocelyn and I and these courageous, ones who will be joining us, that it's just going to be lightning in a bottle.
And totally agree.
Yeah. So, and we'll be back here tomorrow. So I'm hoping to make tomorrow, maybe bring a couple people forward to share tomorrow, so we can hear from you a little bit more. The chat's been great, but I would love to see some of you face to face too.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Ellie says, I will take some time to look at the curriculum page, but if you could say any more about how much space there will be in which we're supported to really bring practical business ideas into manifestation. Yeah, well, that's a huge focus of the program, Ellie. So there's going to be a lot of space for that. We have certain pieces where we will be teaching and sharing about, the themes for the month and what we're going to be, probably moving through collectively that month. But I would say there will be at least an hour, each time that we meet, of really open coaching time and sharing, letting you guys ask the questions, and we're coaching you and giving you what you need, because it's very powerful to do that in a group. I'm sure Ellie, I'm sure you know very well, but when one person has a question, usually many others in the group have the same question or are going through something similar, right? So we all will be just continually learning from what each person brings forward. So yeah, that's a big focus of the time for sure.
And I also wanted to add that, we'll be inviting you into some really thought-provoking inquiry that will help you dive deeper and to really, uncover what's already there, so that it's uniquely to you. It's unique to you and to your path. So some of the coaching will be, through this self-discovery, and through questions, and the way that will help to bring these answers forth in a way that's right for you. It will be the practical stuff and the digging deeper in your own self, so you will be guided and guide yourself towards the next best step for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think, that Tami and I especially wanted to work together because we each bring very unique pieces into this. And Tami is just so profoundly beautiful in her coaching skill and in her ability to draw out those truths and really make space for what is deep and what is within you that is wanting to emerge. And so, you know, I have a lot to offer around practical and business pieces and technology pieces, and just all that we're going to bring into this together jointly is going to be very, very powerful, very unique and different than what you might find elsewhere. So that's part of the reason we're so excited to bring it forward.
Right. With plenty of space to co-create and, you know, for the unimagined and what is needed in the moment. We want to leave that for surprises, for each of you to collaborate and to see what we can come up with together. You know, that's going to be part of the alchemical magic of this whole thing. And there's an entrepreneur in every single one of us. And let's find out, you know, where your deep journey leads through the, you know, entrepreneurship path. So
yeah, definitely. And something big astrologically that is going to be guiding us all throughout the rest of this year is that Uranus is going to be coming closer and closer and then come into a conjunction with the North Node. And so this is very, very powerful. This is the cosmos supporting us for the collective of humanity, the future that we are building through the collective of humanity to be revolutionized, and for surprising new developments to move through us that are going to help us to birth and build that new future. So, you know, if there was ever a time to be really taking a big leap forward, moving into a whole new space of what you're creating and what you're opening up to let your purpose flow through, this is a time when we will just be extremely cosmically supported around this idea of birthing a new world, and how that comes through for each of us individually, and also how it can help to shift the future for all. So quite a powerful time that we're in. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody at all? Okay, I don't see any for now, so we will close for today. We will welcome your questions and your shares tomorrow as well. And as Tami said, we will have a chance tomorrow for you to raise hands and come over and chat with us on the video. So if you want to do that tomorrow, that would be so wonderful. So tomorrow we'll meet. It will be Thursday, May 5th, and we'll meet again at 1 p.m. New York time, as we have been doing this week. Same time, same Zoom link. Can't wait to see you all there, and much love, everybody. Mwah. See you tomorrow.